Good evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team. It is Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. Things a lot different tonight compared to what we were dealing with last night as we were tracking the storms that at this time were back into Alabama, moving our way, getting ready to cross over the line into West Georgia. Now, we aren't rain-free tonight. We still have some showers around, but they're lighter. They are not severe. We don't have any storms in association with them. And these showers are going to be pushing out as we continue really through the late night hours tonight and overnight as well. So here is what we're going to be watching, though. With that little bit of lingering rain still coming in on the backside of that area of low pressure that's located to the north, well, the other thing coming in from the north is the wind. We also have the cold air, and we're going to watch these temperatures falling during the nighttime hours. By tomorrow morning, we're talking about our low temperatures moving back down into the 30s, and with the wind, it's going to make it feel like it is in the 20s. So we have a pretty chilly night and a chilly morning to start the day tomorrow. We will have some slow warming, though. Temperatures tomorrow only getting into the 50s, but then after that, we're going to warm up a little bit more each day as we head into the weekend. And we're also watching limited moisture moving in, giving us just a low risk for some of those showers that'll be moving in as we head into the weekend. Here is a look at some of those light showers that we're watching out there right now, and you can see the green on here. Not really an organized system, not really a lot of rain. This is generally just light rain that is pushing through. Again, it's on the backside of an area of low pressure. Here in Atlanta, we had a better coverage of the rain over us around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. That moved off to the east. Now, we just have a few of these spotty showers. When I ran out to grab something to eat a little while ago, there were really just a couple of raindrops on my windshield every once in a while. It wasn't a lot, but then you might hit one of these little bigger little showers here, and you might have a few more of those raindrops there. But just really spotty showers that we have around. And the reason we're getting that is because we have an area of low pressure way up here to the north, all right? That was all part of the complex system that gave us the showers and storms last night. That line of storms now is well off the coast of North Carolina here, and those showers and storms are moving out, moving out into the Atlantic. So that was the first part of that complex system, the low that had the cold front with it. So the front has moved on off to the east. Now we just have that low to the north, and the counterclockwise flow around that is wrapping around a little bit more moisture, also some cooler air, and also something that we're going to be watching in far north Georgia will be the potential for a few snow flurries that could be up in that area. Let me take you in a little bit tighter here to North Georgia, and you can see what we're watching. Not a lot of moisture there. I'll get you into the mountains, and up around Clayton, you can see up in Rabun County, showing a little bit of the pink color there where it's trying to not only shake out a little bit of moisture from those clouds, but maybe just a little bit of a mix in spots. And then elsewhere, not a lot of moisture with that, but still through the nighttime hours tonight, there is that potential that we could see a few flurries, but we're not really expecting any problems there. Maybe some lighter accumulations in the mainly highest elevations of North Georgia. The other thing we are watching is the wind. We have some really strong winds out there right now. And they haven't been too bad. We have actually been seeing those winds decrease in intensity during the evening hours. And the wind advisory that we had in effect expired at 7 o'clock tonight. And I was telling everybody at 5 and 6 o'clock on our newscast earlier that just because the wind advisory ended at 7, that doesn't mean the wind just dies out immediately. It just means that those winds start weakening a little bit, going below wind advisory criteria, but it's still rather breezy. We have winds in Atlanta now at 15 miles an hour. Same thing in Canton, 14 mile an hour winds in Marietta, Duluth, Athens, also Peachtree City and into the Thomaston area. But add in the gusts, and it is a little more breezy out there when you have these occasional gusts like this one in Atlanta right now, 34 mile an hour wind gust, 36 mile an hour wind gust in Covington and also in Peachtree City. And then you can see those 30 mile an hour wind gusts up in the Canton area. Through the nighttime hours, it stays breezy, and in the morning, we're going to see some of those wind gusts between 20, 25 miles an hour here. Same thing down on the south side and to the north too. So this is going to be the key. These are actually the feels like temperatures. Sorry about that. These are the feels like temperatures. With the winds that we have, it's going to feel like it's down to 22 degrees here in the Atlanta area early tomorrow morning. Actual air temperatures will be around 34 to 36 degrees, but it'll feel like it is in the 20s thanks to that wind. And then once we get to lunchtime, it's going to feel like 39. Into the afternoon, the wind dies down a little bit more, and we'll see the temperature and the wind, or the feels like temperature, pretty much the same there, getting up into the 50s. So here's a look at those gusts. Now, wind gusts at about 30 miles an hour, 29 mile an hour wind gust in the next hour. In the morning, we're talking 27 mile an hour wind gusts. So again, enough of a breeze to make the cold temperatures feel even colder out there. By noontime, still some of those stronger winds. The stronger part of those gustier winds begins to move on over to the east of us. And then you see later on Thursday how, again, the winds don't totally disappear, but at least they do start dying down a little bit. And we will see, a little more comfortable conditions there. It's still going to be cold going into Friday morning, but still just not as blustery out there. Now, this is an interesting thing I want you to see. As we were telling you yesterday, we had the mild air over us last night when those storms were moving in. Our temperature at 1 o'clock in the morning was 62 degrees. Our high today was actually just after midnight. And then we dipped down into the lower 50s, came back up to the mid and upper 50s, and then have been dropping back down ever since then with that cooler air that is in place over our area for right now. Here's a look at the temperatures around North Georgia at this hour. They are starting to come down a little bit more. They've been cooling off pretty quickly during the evening hours. You saw that downward trend there on the graph that I just showed you. So here you see the 42 in Atlanta, mid 40s, Covington, Peachtree City, Thomaston, LaGrange at about 47, more lower 40s on the north side, 43 in Marietta, Canton right now at 40 degrees, and in the mountains of North Georgia, that's where we see the 30s around, 36 in Blairsville, also 36 in Clayton, but those temperatures are colder there, but at least they're above freezing. We may see some temperatures closer to freezing here early tomorrow morning, and that's why we have to watch some of that moisture that's coming in that might shake out just a couple of flurries over on the north side. Now, compared to last night, it was much milder last night when we were tracking the springtime storms that were moving in. Right now, we are 26 degrees colder than we were this time last night. All right, so that's a pretty big cool down in a 24-hour period there. 27 degrees colder in Rome, 23 degrees colder in Dalton, Covington 22 degrees cooler. So if you were out last night before the storm started moving in compared to tonight, definitely you are feeling it out there for tonight. Here's what we're going to be watching during the day tomorrow. Temperatures at about 36 to start. Now again, that's in the city. We think it's going to be a little milder here in the morning compared to the outlying areas where we do think we'll see more of those temperatures that'll be closer to the freezing mark. Relatively slow to warm during the day. I'm thinking we'll be up to 50 degrees between the noon and 1 o'clock hour, and then getting up to about 55 for a high in the middle of the afternoon, and then coming back down as we get closer to that sunset with temperatures back down into the 40s. So here's the forecast track. Now, I showed you on radar just a couple of those little areas of green that we have out there right now, indicating those spots where we have just a few of those scattered showers around. But also notice up in North Georgia where the models are indicating the potential for a few snow flurries. We weren't really seeing a good evidence of that over North Georgia when we were looking at radar just a few moments ago. But you can see during the overnight hours and toward tomorrow morning, there may be just a few spotty showers around. And what's happening with this is it's actually that area of low pressure bringing down the colder air. We have a little bit of moisture wrapping around with that. And the air, as it cools, is squeezing out any leftover moisture within those clouds, and that could be in the form of a few snow flurries. But again, we don't think it's going to be anything widespread, not really anything to cause any major problems. There could be some light accumulations, mainly on some grassy areas in the highest elevations of North Georgia. We're talking 2,000 feet or higher. But again, nothing really widespread, nothing really causing any issues. And then once we go through the day tomorrow, we're going to all be drying out. It is still going to be breezy during the day, not crazy wind, but just breezy off and on during the day on Thursday. Good bit of sunshine that we'll be dealing with, but highs tomorrow, as we mentioned, only going up into those 50s during the afternoon hours. Once we get into Friday, it's going to be cool in the morning, back to the 30s, but a few more clouds start building in during the day, mixing in with the sunshine at times. But I really think we're going to see more clouds than sun on Friday. And the same thing for Saturday with mostly cloudy skies. But you'll see here these clouds not giving us any rain. The other thing I want you to notice, look at the arrows here. Notice the flow coming out of the south and west. That's going to help to warm us up into Friday afternoon, when we are going to see our temperatures that are going to be returning to the 60s, going back up into those 60s here for the afternoon hours. And then on Saturday, another day starting off with clouds. Models showing just a couple of blips of rain possible here and there. We're just going to go with a 20% chance for an isolated shower on Saturday. I really think most of us will make it through the day without seeing any of that rain at all. But again, we'll keep a close eye on that for you. We're really thinking on Sunday. That's when we're going to see about a 40% chance for some showers that'll be moving into our area. Temperatures are going to be up and down. Notice that colder air in here tomorrow morning as well as on Friday morning in the 30s. Now we'll be at 36 in town. Some areas outside the city closer to the freezing mark. But remember, it is that wind that is going to make it feel even colder. We're talking about wind chills tomorrow morning in the 20s. You've got to bundle up the kids. I know we've had warm air. I know the kids are ready for springtime to get here, and it's just this transition period when we're going from wintertime to summertime. It is the spring period where we see a lot of the swings in temperature. So just because you see warm air for a few days doesn't mean that spring has sprung. We have more winter weather to get through before it's all over. But what we're going to see is a lot of those days with some ups and downs, or a lot of weeks with ups and downs. Then eventually we'll start seeing more warm days than cold days, but still some cold snaps here and there before it eventually just gets warm and stays warm out there. Milder on Saturday morning with a few more of those clouds. Sunday morning 49 as well on Monday morning. And then temperatures tomorrow afternoon in Atlanta holding in the 50s. Then we're back to the 60s on Friday at 67, near 70 on Saturday. When this next system comes in on Sunday, that has a little better chance for rain in it. That is going to cool us down a little bit more. And then on Monday, we're back to 67. And it gets better. After that, on Tuesday and Wednesday, we're talking about those highs that are getting back into the 70s. Here's our long range map where you can see what we're watching. This takes us into Friday morning as we see just a few more of those clouds. That'll be mixing in with the sunshine during the day, also into the afternoon hours. Then on Saturday, again, I've been saying only about a 20% chance for an isolated shower. One of our models is trying to show a little bit more rain, but I'm holding on to just the 20% chance here with a few more of those clouds around. On Sunday, about a 40% chance for showers. You see some of that green coming in, especially later in the day. On Sunday as well, we'll see that little better chance for some showers around. On Monday, we're thinking the rain chance shifts down to the south. We're going to hold on to a low rain chance early on Monday morning at about 20%. And then during the day, the clouds are going to decrease. We'll see more sunshine later in the day. And then you can see here going into Tuesday, in the afternoon hours, more clear skies, as well as that southerly flow coming in. That's going to warm us up into the 70s for not only Tuesday, but also into Wednesday next week. Very dry conditions here with the temperatures that are going to be back in the 70s again. Then we'll keep an eye on this next system, building a little moisture out to the west to see if that will hold together to come in for the end of next week, giving us another chance for some showers. Again, too early to be specific about that, but that's kind of the trend that we're watching going into the end of next week. So here is what we're watching on that 7-day outlook. Lows near 36 in the morning, but wind chills in the 20s. By afternoon, we're at 55. Sunshine breaking through. 38 Friday morning, another chilly start. But then the warming process begins here. 67 for a high Friday, 69 on Saturday, just holding on to that low rain chance on Saturday. Then a 40% chance for showers Sunday. Temperatures trending back down to 57 degrees. The warm up starts into Monday with a low rain chance early in the morning Monday. Then plenty of dry weather Tuesday and Wednesday. And look at those high temperatures getting back up into the low and mid 70s. So things are going to be looking pretty good here. Stay with us. We're going to have another update for you tonight at 11 with our 11 o'clock newscast here on 11 Alive Plus. And of course, more continuing coverage at any time you want it on our 24/7 Weather Impact channel.